All right, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring in a very special guest today. We've got Simone Vaughn. If you remember, when we first started this show, Maya was doing the press conferences that the government had during COVID, and we brought her on as a guest. So this is, kind of similar, bringing young journalists on. And Simone, you've listened to Maya's the Daily Hour news break as of late. You've heard her voice, so we're going to introduce you to her and learn a bit about her journey. So let's give a warm TDH welcome to Simone Vaughn. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Are you nervous?
Not really.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Good nerves. I'll say that.
Good nerves. Okay. So talk real quickly. We had a conversation this morning about, and by the way, folks, just to introduce you, Simone is, in the background with us. She's been on with our team for since probably June or July. And she actually is the person who has been scheduling guests for the show. So everyone you see on the show, they kind of go through her. She's the boss that says yes or no. And if you see people and you don't like them, you can blame her. I'm joking. But that said, we were asking people about Bermudians, emigrating, not being, in Bermuda, leaving Bermuda. Tell us a bit about your background. What is you do? Because you spent the majority of your time outside of Bermuda, correct?
Yes. So I spent all of my schooling outside of the U.S. I went to Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama, graduated in communication media with a concentration in broadcast journalism, minored in art. I spent majority of my life outside of the U.S. My mother was very proactive, though. She got my status when I was very young. And I had the opportunity to come back, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring my talents, and to Bermuda, and that's exactly what I did. So it's ironic, the conversation that we're having today, because I'm one of the products of getting that status, and I see now how much harder it is for people to do that and be able to come back here and live. And still, when I came back, I still had to do a lot of work to make that process happen. So that's just a little bit about, where I came from and, how I'm doing now and, what I wanted to do and how I'm doing it now.
I love it. And it's interesting because I hope that what you just said inspires someone else who, has Bermudian parents or a parent and has not made it back to Bermuda. I hope it inspires them to, hey, that journey could be yours as well. But let's talk about journalism, Simone. I am very passionate about young people who want to get into the media space. As I said earlier, one of my pieces of advice to people, especially in this field, is to get as much experience outside of Bermuda as possible. I say it all the time. I'm not a journalist. I'm not even an on-air personality. I've produced in the background. I love the business side of it. Teo really made me love the business side when I was, he was my right hand and he was on air. And I would have to write specific contracts for him because he would say some crazy stuff I'd say today. But I love that side. I love being able to sell the talent to people. But you took it a different way. You're a journalist. You love media. What made you want to get into this space, and what would you say to others who want to get into this space?
I would say the biggest reason is community. I'm a really big community person. I love talking to people, learning about different cultures, what makes you you, and how I can translate that onto, an image or, a video or, anything. So one of the things that I did in college, I did documentaries, news stories. One of the documentaries I did is called Hidden No Longer, about the first six African-American women to vote in Huntsville, Alabama, and just hearing the stories of their families, what they had to fight for, and being able to translate that so others could see that and see their resilience and their history. A lot of people didn't know who these women were, and to be able to highlight that and other stories like that really got me excited about journalism itself.
Mm,
and it's almost like a family, like getting to know family,
mhm.
and in a sense. So
Yeah.
yeah.
An audience, we'll direct you to that. But if you're into understanding Black history and the politics, and if you know anything about the civil rights era with Dr. King and voting rights in Selma, like that, I call it a documentary piece that Simone did. I would encourage everyone to watch it so we can find a way to share that with you. It's an absolutely brilliant piece of journalism. So thank you for that. And audience, again, if you're interested in seeing it, just let us know in the comments. Whenever we come into media, I always ask people, I wonder, who do you look up to? Who do you emulate? Because truthfully, who you look up to really kind of determines your journey sometimes, right? For instance, I mean, one of the people I admire or admired in as a journalist that I could relate to when I was younger was Glenn Jones. Glenn Jones is the epitome, like he's the top of tops in my opinion as a Bermudian journalist. He's going on to do great things outside of Bermuda as a journalist and in the media space. The other person would be Elroy Smith, like people like him, and then Teo. It's interesting. I sent Teo a WhatsApp video audio this morning, and I want to share this with you. So I said Teo, I said, you know who doesn't get enough credit? I said Nikita Robinson. Nikita Robinson's on Magic 102.7 in Bermuda. And I said, I don't think she gets enough credit. She's literally one of the most authentic people Bermuda has ever seen in media. She doesn't change who she is. She is what you get. And it's just a natural energy. And I was like, she's another person to emulate. Like she's just that she's trained, she's got it. Who's some people that you've looked up to? They don't have to be Bermudian, by the way, but you've looked at and said, you know what? I'd like to emulate them or go that path.
Well, I'll give two examples. One US. Me and my mother used to watch the Good Morning Show a lot. So I would really look up to Robin Roberts. I admired her journalistic style, and she's on a talk show kind of like this. So it's funny how I ended up here. And yeah, and just how transparent she was with, how she talked to people, and, just her journey in general really inspired me. Another one was, is Media Maya. When I came here and I really started getting into my journalistic journey, I would talk to my friends who were like, who do you listen to? Who do you get all your news from? Or not all, but, most of the stuff. What's engaging for you? And we kind of looked at each other like, Media Maya.
Mhm.
So she's another one that I look up to, and I admire her journey, and being able to work with her has been so fun and really encouraging for me, almost like following in her footsteps and then making my own path. So it's been a really amazing just watching all these journalists that I look up to, women journalists, Black journalists. And it just gives me encouragement that I can do this and I can keep going and, really make the world, a better place.
Indeed, indeed. Audience, if you have any questions for Simone, please send them through. We'll get through as many questions or comments as possible. Speaking of journalism, what kind of stories do you like to cover?
I would say there was a wide range, but I really like stories based on people and their journeys. For example, the documentary I did, I wanted to delve into the people in the area that I was in. What happened? How can I highlight this person? How can I highlight this place, this business? Making people aware of things that they weren't previously aware of. So that's kind of more of the stories that I like to do. But I also like fun stories, during college, I interned at WJOU radio station, and I started a good news segment, because I felt like during that time, we were recovering from COVID, and I wanted to highlight stories that made people feel good, that there's still hope in the world, and to brighten their day. Not all news has to be bad and sad, and just I want it to be uplifting. So those are some of the kind of stories that I like to do and I'm interested in.
Lovely, lovely. I was thinking this. Charles said it. He says, "Has Maya moved into auntie status already?" I mean, Charles, I was thinking it. I was thinking it. But I'm glad because I always complimented Maya in find a way to engage younger people in politics and the stories that she was covering. I think she's done an excellent job in doing that and knowing that young people can inspire others. That's how it should be. I think you know, it's a space where there comedians don't enter because unfortunately it hasn't been as rewarding as it should be. But I'm glad to see people like yourself getting into this space. Look, I mentioned Glenn Jones. He's an Emmy winner, which is something that U.S. journalists, you know, achieve when they, you know, are rewarded for their work. What's your ultimate goal? I mean, do you want to be in Bermuda long term? Do you see yourself following maybe a Robin Roberts and working to Good Morning America? What do you want to do? Do you want to do radio? Do you want to do print? Do you want to do video?
Mhm. Well, I think I've had the amazing opportunity to kind of delve into a lot of aspects of media. I've done print journalism, TV, radio, and I like them all for different reasons. Um, but one of the things that I'm really focused on right now and growing is video journalism.
Mhm.
And I eventually want to have my own site where I do news stories and kind of teach people about different things. I also want to continue doing documentaries. I really love the process and, the work that goes into it and being able to see everything, pan out.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the journalistic side of where I see myself. But I also know that life is changing ever all
Mhm.
the time. So I'm just here for the journey and doing my best every chance I get and, hoping for the best and working towards the best.
Yeah, indeed. And I like that you said that. You know, it is ever changing. I think there's a debate right now, traditional media versus new media. I think traditional media has the opportunity to be new media as well. Um, Elon Musk has believes that Axis now represents the new media and journalism. Do you feel that from a personal perspective? Do you look? Are you looking forward to continuing more in the traditional media space, or moving toward new media space? Because you did mention your own site. Do you hope to? I mean, back when I was in school, people would create stories and almost not sell them to media spaces, but kind of right now, if you put something up on your social media platform, it can be used for a news story. So what do you hope your hopes as it relates to traditional and new media?
I definitely believe that traditional media has its place and it's the foundation for media in general. However, I do see myself moving towards new media. Even when I was in university, I was saying, okay, I can do this traditional media thing,
Mhm.
but I felt like there were so much more opportunities that new media will provide, not only for the listener, but for the person, going out and doing these stories and getting content and sharing them on different platforms. Um, so I definitely feel like new media, a combination of both,
Mhm.
um, will be really important for me and for other people to, kind of look at and focus on and delve into.
Karina has a question. She's asking, how much is AI playing a role in media research for you?
Oh, yeah. AI, it's funny. I took a class on AI, and it's interesting because you have to sift through a lot of different things to get real facts nowadays. And doing that can kind of be hard, but also you can use AI to your advantage sometimes to really get through to like what is the facts and what are not. Um, but it definitely has played a role, and AI changes like every year. So keeping up to date with that really helps in kind of navigating those murky waters.
Mm, mm. So, man, how can people reach out to you if they want you to maybe cover a story for them or do some work with them?
Okay, so you can reach out to me on Instagram, Sim Social. And that's where you can find me. That's where I post some of my reels and everything like that. And yeah.
Okay. Sim Social. That's SIM Social, SOCIAL.
Yeah, sim.social_.
That's easy. Okay.
Mhm.
Folks, check her out. Check her
Very
out.
simple.
Thank you so much for this. I want to give you a compliment. I think that when Keitha had suggested having you on, I was like, oh, that's a perfect idea. Introduce you to the audience. But
Mhm.
Maya and you have been working on some stories, and the response has been awesome. I have really appreciated the response from particularly sponsors and the audience, and as it relates to the stories you've covered. But I think it's important. It's not radio, so I think it's important to put a face so that people can actually get to know you, and if they see you, they can embrace you and engage you, and also to build your brand. And I say to people all the time, whoever I work with, don't forget about your brand. Your brand is your most important, um, marketing tool. In times you get to a point in life where you no longer need a reel or a resume.
Mm.
People already know your work. So
Yeah.
congratulations on your journey so far. And I think I speak for many when they say we wish you the best and we look forward to growing with you. And
You
thank you for being a part of
likewise.
our team.
Mhm.
Have a wonderful day. Talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, Simone Vaughn, folks. If you appreciated the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 41 seconds. We're going to give away today's prize, so don't go anywhere. $50 gift voucher to People's Pharmacy. And yeah, we'll see who gets today's answer correct, too. I said it's easy. Stick with us.